Just hijack the whole thing.
Well, no, this is going to be a pretty, I didn't really have many plans for tonight. Hello, everybody. I don't know who we've got in the chat. I don't know if we've got many people. This is just a debrief session, so I don't know how many people would come along. Pretty certain Tien's in the chat just because he's been along for the whole Dragonbane, right? He was the one that got me on to Dragonbane originally. So I think he's been pretty invested.
He's such a dealer. He's like, hey.
Oh, yeah.
You know what would be a good idea? You know what's cool? Hey, if you want to be cool, do you want to know about Dragonbane?
Pretty much. Yeah, it was thanks to Tien that got me into like all of the what's it?
That company? I'm trying to think of them as well. Freedom Flight.
Fucking
Farmers.
Free League.
Free League.
I just remember for free.
Yeah, Free League. Yeah, he was the one that got me into all the Free League stuff, which has been really, I call him cool.
The Free League pusher.
That's fair. That is fair. And he even runs like Free League games, and I don't know if he still gets paid for it, but when he runs them, I don't know. He used to, so I don't know if he still does. I don't know if that's been changed. Let me know in the chat. Yesterday's model /Tien.
Does it even count as being paid if he keeps just giving it back to them when they come out with the new game?
He does. Speaking of which, there are 2 new Dragonbane books.
Oh no!
Currently in the Kickstarter that are coming, and I'm just like, okay, that could be interesting. That could be fun.
Are there many of them?
No, there's not. There really isn't. I think the starter pack that I've got came out only maybe 3 years ago, something like that. So it's all like this edition of it is pretty new, and it's just slowly. There was a book released last year. There's another 2 new that are coming. So they're slowly filling it out, which is cool. But I assume, because it's been around since the 80s or the late 70s,
right?
I assume there's heaps that is just waiting to be translated and
made. Okay.
Yeah, and made for the new edition. I assume.
Is it all in the same world?
No, I don't think. This is just the same planet, sure, but this is just the Misty Vale section of the Dragonbane.
They're all sort of connected, sort of like in the Dungeons and Dragons main land. Whatever that's called.
What's that one called?
I don't know.
Faerun?
Yeah. I always think that's the
Free League.
Yeah, Free League. That's the one. Yeah.
Yeah.
I guess it's fun if it all connects.
Are there any D&D stories based not in Faerun?
They have those other
different
settings,
realms, right?
Yeah.
Like
Strahd.
Yeah, that's a good point. Yeah, but that's not really set anywhere.
Yeah.
That's kind of set.
Vallaki.
Yeah, in its own thing. Like, Vallaki doesn't exist on the planet that Faerun is on, you know?
Yeah.
I don't know.
Dark Sun.
Hello to Lyndon. Hello to Yesterday's Model. Thanks for joining us tonight. This is just a chat this is just us chatting tonight. We're just talking about Dragonbane, debriefing on... I don't have a plan. I got 0 plan. This is just us chatting about what we liked about it, maybe delving into parts of the story if we wanted to go over it. But also, if anyone in the chat wants to throw out questions or comment on stuff, then please do, because it's an open forum for everyone tonight, I think. I don't know where it's going to go.
Spoilers out, eh?
Spoilers out. Yeah, there's going to be... If you
get them out.
Yeah, we will happily talk spoilers. So if you haven't watched, if you're not caught up, then yeah, you're going to get some stuff spoiled, I think. We're saying that up front.
Like someone's coming in and they're like, "Oh yeah, I want to try a Dragonbane. Oh, I'll just check out these people," and we're just talking about everything in the campaign. Awesome.
Maybe I should put it in like the title. Maybe.
It's like spoiler.
Can I add it? I'll put in the thing spoilers. Anyone who's in here at the moment won't see the
will
change,
spoil all Free League.
yeah. Every book, every story, every campaign. I'll tell you what, the Dragonbane campaign has done really well on our YouTube. Like for the last 6 years, maybe. our episode 1 of Lost Mine is like always at the number 1 spot of what gets viewed week after week after week.
Oh, cool.
And for like maybe over the last 2 months, our Dragonbane sessions are in that top 5 now, which is really cool. So obviously there's
niche, I guess.
Very much so. I don't think there are many people doing full playthroughs of Dragonbane, and the sort of comments that we get on those episodes are similar to what we got with Lost Mine, which is people that have never played the story before, who they're about to run it, or they're thinking about running it, getting ideas for how to run it. And we just get a lot of people just like, oh my God, this is so cool. Really love what you guys are doing. Now it's giving me ideas for how I'm going to run it and stuff like that. So really, really cool. I'm really glad that we've played Dragonbane. We already got a question from Christian, which is, did you guys all enjoy how chill Dragonbane was?
Oh my God, it was so boring. Just sitting there, leveling up, drinking an ice cold margarita.
Nice and chill.
Fighting level 0, rabbits? I don't know.
Yeah.
For anyone new, there is nothing chill about Dragon.
Chill.
I think
it's just constant PTSD.
The very first session where like the very first thing that happens is you meet someone and kick off a fight straight away. That was like deadly right from the get-go. I feel like we got someone in a
goblins.
The goblins.
Were they goblins?
Yeah.
They have the MacGuffin or whatever it was. A map or
it was like a dying guy, and he was like holding a bundle, and he's like,
take my plot.
Goblins wanted it.
Yes,
please. Yeah.
The first round of that combat, the guy like dishes out like half my health and damage. Just like, what?
Which, to be honest, like I was trying to compare that to Dungeons and Dragons as well. Like D&D is the other game that we've played a lot of on this channel. And a first level goblin can always do a lot of damage to a first level adventurer, even in D&D.
You don't have many hit points, do you, when you start? Or armor.
Yeah.
Not much armor.
Yeah, pretty squishy to start with.
And they can misroll and miss you. But with D&D, I think... with Dragonbane, I think the warg captain was one of the ones that always hit. But the goblin was a roll to hit. So you guys got one that was just like always going to hit. It was a nice introduction to that.
That is strange, that there's one or the other and you don't really know which is which as a player. But you got to look out. Don't stand next to that because that will auto hit.
Or it might just growl at you and make everyone scared. Like,
yes,
I do.
Or it will do something automatically.
Yes, yeah.
I loved it when the first person would save that roll, but then they would scream, and the rest of the team would be like, "Ah!"
Yeah, I was. The way that it's written makes it sound like you could just do this infinite loop of scaring, but there's some sort of. I think the rule is written where it's like, once you've saved for that fear, you cannot be frightened by that again. You only have to roll once for that type of fear. But the type of fear was secondary because someone else got scared, so I wasn't sure like what layers of that should be. Because the fact is that a character can get scared and scream, which can trigger fear in others. It wouldn't make sense for the others not to, because they would have been there to experience that. I don't know. It's a bit messy. A little bit messy. Lyndon says he certainly thought everyone was going to die. Always thought everyone was going to die.
Pretty much.
Accurate.
This is getting ahead of us, but I was constantly amazed at how well you guys dealt with like situations where I was talking to like Christian or talking to Joe and being like, we're going to TPK. I need to figure out a fun way for this to happen. But then like we would blitz through the fight in like 2-3 rounds. It's like, oh shit. Okay, just because the monster rolled an attack that was far less targeted than I personally, as a DM, would have chosen.
Yeah, No, I was constantly making peace with like, well, this week is saying goodbye to Mallory, dear sweet little duck. I loved you very much. Bye. And then it's like, wait, how did we do that? How are we still alive?
Mostly Mallory killing things with a bow and
Yeah,
arrow.
that
Pretty
bow
much.
was amazing.
And a lot of luck. A
Yeah.
lot of luck.
The longbow did you guys incredibly well. Did you have the longbow from the start, or did you upgrade to that?
I think it was the same one from the start.
It was powerful.
It's ye olde duck bow. So
yeah.
Oh,
in my head, it's like real old. She's patched it up a couple of times. It's just like grandma's bow or something.
Right. Yeah.
But yeah, I was kicking myself like after the last one because I was like, oh man, when I was like getting bummed out because I was only doing like half damage, should have got Mallory to call out to Digby and say, chuck me the, magical transforming hammer, and it would have like turned into a magical bow, and then I could have wasted him with like magic shots, and it's like lost opportunity.
oh, I thought it only changed once. Would it just keep changing?
No, I basically we had that conversation about look.
Oh, we
the
did.
person who
that's good.
The person who owned the hammer was no longer playing, so I was just happy just to turn it into a weapon. Let's just shift it into a weapon that someone will use. It wasn't just suddenly this magical.
That's good.
Shape shifting thing. Well, it was, but just a one-off shape shift.
That makes
we
me
didn't
feel
use
better.
all of our potions, like
yeah.
It's like, well, gotta use, the ones that give you the magic points.
I really thought you guys were going to. First of all, die. But secondly, I thought you guys were going to end up really powering through those potions. It just totally surprised me that like none of that happened. You guys dealt with that final fight so much faster than I expected.
You didn't even think it was the final fight, right, Mallory?
No.
Again, it was Dragonbane PTSD.
Really anticlimactic ending.
So
no. It's just
fight the big bad. What?
It's just like, oh my gosh, we nearly died. Right, where's the next death? Is it over here? Is it behind this curtain?
How we survived,
Is it coming up through the floor? It's like it can't be this quiet. It's like, okay, where's my next roll with death? And it's like, what? Wait, what? No way.
You did it.
Yeah, you were there to stop him from being brought into this world, and you succeeded.
Can he be brought into the world? The Seth Mog?
I guess only if you guys, yes he can, but it doesn't include like a fight. Like the insinuation is if Seth Mog comes in, everyone's fucked.
Oh, okay.
Right.
Yeah.
That would be tough, eh? Play for like a year and you ruined the entire land.
Yeah. I was trying so hard to make you guys give up at the end. Like I was giving so many characters the real incentive to try and talk you guys out of it. I really wanted to sell the idea that no one believed in you guys, and that just give us the sword. Yeah.
The Immaculate Flame peeps were like, "How about we just get
yeah.
You guys,
yeah, that's right."
There's a couple of questions. We'll do the one in the chat, which is, what if anything was a mechanic from Dragonbane that you enjoyed the most?
Ooh.
I don't remember how to play it.
Enjoyed is a strong word.
But
the possibility of every session you have a level up is kind of cool.
Yeah.
That versus reality is quite different, but knowing that it's there is quite neat mechanic, I think.
It was funny watching that turn from there's a chance for us to level up to an expectation of leveling up and not getting it and being bummed out.
Yeah.
And then at the end, when it's like, 17, come on, hero ability. I want to be awesome.
Yeah, I like the hero. I think for me, I really like the heroic abilities. I thought that was a cool touch. Which is like with D&D, you hit certain levels, and on certain levels, your class will gain one of 2 or 3 things, and you pick. But this was kind of like you've just got free reign to all of these different abilities, and figure out how you want to build your character moving forward, which I really liked with Wilgus. I always forget Wilgis's name. With Wilgis just being like, I just want to go HP. And that I think worked so well for Wilgis as well.
Yeah, looking back, I was super relieved that he had more than 9 health in some of those battles, because it's like, oof, there goes half his health with that fight or bite or whatever.
Yeah. I've got the adventure book here if we needed to go into like certain things at any point tonight. But yeah. Anyone else with like a mechanic or something from Dragonbane that they appreciated over and above other systems they've played?
Well, I like that you use your skills more than you do in D&D. Like you'll use, it's more like Call of Cthulhu, I suppose. You use your spot hidden or or your sleight of hand or persuasion.
That's a good point. That's a really good point. I thought you were talking about heroic abilities, but you're talking about actual like just skills. I agree.
That you level up.
Yeah, I think that's really good. And something I think the freedom of Dragonbane allows for that a bit better. This is as someone who is like D&D versus Dragonbane. With D&D and you're doing a pre-made campaign, there's always like, get them to roll for this, and they have to get higher than this at this activity. But with Dragonbane, it doesn't really state anything. You just are making it up as you go. So it's way more ad-lib. It's way more improv, which I want to do way more of that in D&D when I go back now. I want way more of some of those, just getting people to roll for fun things. And only when it matters.
Yep.
Yeah.
Oh my gosh. The most fun I had was picking the wrong weakness.
that was great though.
Oh, do you pick a weakness?
Well, because if you, what was it? If you didn't succumb to your weakness, then you overcame it, so you didn't have it for the next game, and then you had to come up with a new weakness. But I forgot that it was based on what had happened to you and your group in the previous one. So I picked this one that I was like, yeah, this will be fun to play. And then Reagan was like, oh no, you did that. You had nothing to do with that kind of weakness. It's like you got to pick one that's appropriate to the story and what you've done. So I got that that slightly racist where I didn't trust any monsters, and I thought they were all better off dead.
Which is great. That's a cool weakness to have.
And then I had thought, oh, this will be cool because, dragons have to die, Manticore has to die, everyone will be fun with that. And then there was a second, oh, no. Was it trolls?
Yeah.
That can talk to you and have emotions and stuff. They count as monsters, and it's like, damn it.
Yeah, because they don't really play things straight like monsters are evil, right? Or anything like that. So I think it's I wouldn't even put that in the game, because you're stopping them from role-playing, well, like a key point of the role-play or interacting with the world.
I like
it's tricky.
Overcome it though, right?
Yeah,
yes,
I like it because it was
exactly
a good challenge. Like, it challenged me to be like, how am I going to still play this as the same cute grandma duck, but now she wants to kill the monsters? And so it was like, oh, she's feeling really guilty about putting the other team members in so much danger, and they almost get killed. So now she's in super Overwatch protective mode, and she's like, anything that could possibly be dangerous, it's like she's got to eliminate the danger.
The story that it built was fantastic. It was that whole idea of like, because it was the Manticore, right? That I think it was the Manticore fight that triggered that. Holy shit, everything's changed. This is way more dangerous than I thought. All monsters from here on in. I got to do this. And then you went through, like, you could have just gone, oh, nice old troll, I'm just going to overcome my weakness. You could have just given it up straight away if you'd wanted to. If you and your role playing
what was the troll?
The troll at the glittering
The little witchy
spire?
troll.
The one that started off being quite nice and
a
gave
tiny
you the
troll,
potions.
wasn't it?
Yeah.
Yes.
And then you carried it through all of that, and then kind of had that point proven she was a piece of shit. Oh my god, this is
She really was.
yeah, this is growing that hatred of all monsters.
Forgot about
Then
that.
you took it all the way through where like sessions, and you finally get to this giant. Who, again, you don't trust him. Why should you? He's been lying to these people. He's been getting them to do this stuff. You didn't like him. But finally you get through. He has this... it forced me to have this really touching moment with Mallory at the end there. And then that was the thing that you've now lost that weakness and you can get a new one and move on with. And I loved it. I thought it was fantastic.
I liked it that, like, in the story-wise, is like she got it because she was trying to protect the guys.
Perfect.
And then it was the guys that talked her out of it because they're like, "What are you doing? If we just like go at this as sensible people, we can try and at least try and talk it through." And they made their little potato boobs and the little present.
Yeah,
That's
that's
right.
amazing.
And they made peace.
calligraphy.
Yay! And the calligraphy.
The cake or something. Oh yeah. I think mechanically it's kind of like what I've had in D&D where you get a curse. But everyone has got a curse. So it can make you play your character in a way that you wouldn't normally. I suppose you'd be like, well, I'd like to play it, but I've got this curse where I have to react this way, which can be good, obviously.
Well, it just comes down to also making I think it's very important from my point of view that I have to run with it in a positive forward progression. I can't just be like, oh well, no, Mallory, you'd actually like hate this thing, and so you'd attack it. So don't do that. You'd have to attack it. You know what I mean? Like I could see a DM getting really caught up on it.
Yeah.
Yeah,
because it's a mechanical rule. So and you got to go, how close do I stick to the rules? But yeah, it's I mean, it's cool that you can break it, but like, when do you break? Because like most of the time, it says, "Have you succumbed to your weakness?" And mine was being lazy as fuck. It says on the thing, but only a few times I would say like, "Oh yeah, I went off for a nap instead of engaging," or something like that.
I guess if there's a situation where normally your character would just be like I don't know. Preparing for the big fight, right? Digby did find a way to kind of just go off and have a nap and not actually do that thing. If the opportunity was there and you were like, you know what, he would normally have a nap, but he understands the importance of what's coming up and he's going to train, that would have been an opportunity to overcome that weakness, I guess.
Yeah,
Yes.
like Mallory's first one was reckless. And then as we were playing, I was like watching like
Almost
Mallory
dying.
suddenly yes, and becoming like super cautious and over like, it's like, wait, I'm not playing this as reckless as she should be. It's like, why is she getting so like check the corners, make sure all the guys are safe, and it's like, I think she's no longer reckless.
What was Wilgis's weakness?
Violence.
Okay.
You don't remember that?
That's right.
Dressing the donkey in the corpse of a giant spider.
Yeah. Basically, anything that died was like hacked to pieces afterwards.
You got it.
Yes. Yeah.
In the name of enlightenment.
It was your weakness and your strength.
It was.
Yeah. There's another question. What did you think about the combat versus like Dungeons and Dragons style combat?
It's quite
Like
similar.
so, the initiatives, for example, like the way the initiatives change.
Oh yeah, that's fun.
I like it as well. I thought that was quite cool. I also love that you can just like swap your number with a willing person as well.
Yeah.
So
Yes.
Bit of
A little
planning.
strategy.
Yeah.
I thought it was suitably intimidating when you have our 3 cards and then you start pulling them for the enemy. You're like, oh, how many is there? Holy crap! And already like,
That's true.
Oh,
Yeah, how many
that's
goes?
interesting. That's cool.
Oh, something that I don't think we actually encountered was that if you parried, there was the chance that your weapon would break.
Yes, yeah, because you guys usually dodged instead of parried.
Yeah.
So your option when attacked is either dodge or parry, and most of you guys had really a higher evade than you had. Can't remember what you actually used. I think you just used your
Weapon
think
skill.
there's
The weapon.
I think you use your weapon skill, so maybe it would have been better to use your weapon skill. But yeah, if the damage is higher than your durability, then you can break your weapon.
Mm.
And I don't
And
think
I only had a knife.
and a sling. I don't think you can parry. Maybe you can...
A shitty sling. Why is it even on there? It's like, well, it's on there.
Yeah.
It seems like a reasonable thing to level up.
Weapon is an optimistic description of sling, right?
Yeah.
Maybe fidget toy.
Yeah. That's from the $2 shop. Fucking
I was
homemade weapon.
I
I
was
think
glad
you even
that
got a master crafted one at some point, and you're like, oh, the damage is the same. But
Yeah,
durability goes up to 3.
yeah.
but I was relieved when Digby got a ranged weapon, because
The sling?
because you see the cute little dog
Yes.
running
that's
up to the big monster with a little knife, and you're like, oh no, puppy,
Yeah.
no.
We didn't touch on magic at all,
No.
which was quite interesting. So I still don't really understand how Dragonbane and magic works yet. I've done 31 session campaign and I got no idea really how it works, other than it uses WP.
Yeah.
And I
if you
think
cast it, you would die.
I think
it's Dragonbane.
yeah. I think if you run out of WP, you can continue casting magic by sacrificing your HP. I think.
Yeah.
Which is kind of cool.
They have good spells?
I literally haven't looked.
No.
I literally have no idea. I assume so.
I assume no.
Yeah.
That's actually pretty fair, to be honest. They're probably...
It'll be like, in your next hygiene encounter, +1 for your roll.
Yes.
Yeah.
Cost 3 life.
You get the power of a sling
For a short
from half
period
the
of time.
distance. Yeah.
I am interested though. Here we go. Magic. I was going to have a look at a couple just so we can see. So there's, so they've got requirements and power levels and casting time and duration and all that kind of stuff. You got magic tricks, which are, I guess, equivalent to cantrips, yeah. And then you've got the different schools of magic like animism, elementalism, mentalism. Actually, just those 3.
I like Darren Brown.
yeah.
You can make people think that they and they work somewhere else.
yeah. So
Not what I did last weekend. That's weird.
Is that my car? That's your car, Darren. Thank you. Actually, that'd be good.
But so there's like, treat wounds, lightning bolts, thunderbolts, shatter, fire blast, tidal waves. There's some cool stuff.
But do any of them do damage?
No, they're all just like make you wet or warm, and that's it.
The humid.
Yeah. No, they do. They actually do a decent amount of damage.
Lightning must do a decent amount, right?
Like thunderbolt.
Let's play it again.
Lightning bolt.
As magicians.
2d8. 2d8 damage.
Fuck all.
That's decent.
Possibly 2 down.
And then it can split. So lightning bolt was what Wilgus got hit with from the mirror.
That did a lot.
So
that dirty dick.
So it hits and then it sparks off to anyone who's close by and does damage, but not as much damage. And then it sparks off from them to another set. So it kind of hits and then radiates out, tag teaming across whoever's nearby. So great for grouped monsters.
Really, is it like 9 WP or something?
Why does it? It just says. Where does it say the WP? This must be some part of Dragonbane that I haven't read. Maybe there's like a spell.
Yeah.
General spell cost per level or something. I don't know. All it says is if you cast it indoors for Lightning Bolt, then the WP cost is doubled. But I don't know what. It's a rank 2 spell, so whatever that means. Casting power level. Casting a spell costs 2 WP per power level. So there would be 4 WP to cast outside, 8 WP to cast inside, but it would just like do a bunch of damage. Huge damage. But that's a massive cost.
Yeah, man.
Huge cost. And yeah, you can upcast them, as Christian says, you can upcast them for more damage as well, which is kind of cool. What I was curious about is what did you guys like? How did you guys like your characters, your own little characters that you built and took along on the journey?
My donkey. I did like becoming a donkey by accident.
Yeah.
By dragging the donkey onto my character sheet, and it just replaced my entire character sheet with a donkey. That's how that's expected.
From now on, we're making doubles of everyone just in case.
It made me screenshot my character sheet every week.
Oh, right.
Every few minutes.
Yeah. Yeah, did you guys enjoy your characters?
Yeah.
No?
That's fair. I loved how all our characters onboarded so much into the adventure tourism.
I loved it.
And all the time, just weave that in. That was so good, I reckon.
Yeah.
It was so good.
Yeah, we can make some money off of it.
Yeah.
Reach enlightenment.
Planning all the hotels and stops and things. It was so cute.
I feel like it would fit into a lot of things, wouldn't it? Adventure tourism and a lot of scenarios.
I feel like reluctant heroes would be the appropriate term for this group.
Yes. Why are we even here?
I feel like we got out of depth in our first fight. We're like, oh.
Yeah.
Misty Vale, this is normal. I wanted casual difficulty.
Yeah. Well, it is funny. Like all of you guys started from the very first moment. It wasn't about heroes going into the land. It was literally people escaping troubles or whatever, just to go on a bit of tourism. Like that was that was literally
economic downturn.
That's right. Yeah.
And everyone was drinking away their sorrows in a pub, and it's like, hey guys, I've been meaning to go out for an adventure. It sounds like you fellas might be on board for a bit of adventure yourself. What do you say?
Yeah.
Bigby was supposed to have 8 kids or something and a wife at home, and business wasn't very good.
At one point, you were up to 23 or something. The number of kids he had.
Yeah, true. It's probably 8 per litter or something, isn't it? In there, his little backpack.
Yeah, such a good drawing, dude.
I love that picture so much.
Yeah,
The moment I saw
cool.
that, I was like, oh my gosh, little baby boy, we got to protect him.
Yeah,
this is an actual dog. I've got
that drawing of the actual
dog
looks so good.
Yeah. That one's AI.
You lie. That one's a cloud. It's a cloud with a little snoot in it.
Cute.
The IRL Digby is a sweetie pie. Oh,
Yeah,
you your little juicy one. Oh, look at your
super
little
cute.
face. No, I can't take it.
So well behaved too.
Yeah.
So this is what I'm picturing, going up against a giant demon with a little tiny hand knife. And it's like, just go hide in the corner. Go hide in the corner. We'll fight him for you.
That would be wise. I think Digby mostly did want to hide in the corner until it got really hairy and everyone was in danger.
Started dying.
Which happened a lot.
And then he came through.
Yeah. Yeah. Digby quite often would be convincing people just let's not engage. Let's just get out of there.
Yes.
Which I liked because he had a knife and that's it.
Yeah. But there's no avoiding it, wasn't it? Even if you go to an inn, you get sucked into some
that's right.
dream world where you have to fight.
Oh yeah. Oh my gosh.
I like that you guys knew something was up with that in the moment that you guys arrived there, I feel.
But there was something up with everywhere, wasn't there?
Yeah, pretty much.
There's no places that are actually chill, apart from that pervert tree.
Yeah,
It was probably like the most chill place. The pool, there was a pool that the tree was watching, wasn't it?
That's
Nothing
right.
happened.
Yes.
Yeah, it was just keeping an eye on anyone that was swimming in that pool.
Yes.
The
Yeah.
little duck pond.
Whoa.
Oh my gosh.
Um,
I had a soft spot for Mallory.
yeah, that's good.
Yes.
I really like Mallory.
Yes, sweet little, like a little feisty grandma.
Yeah, I feel like you really got into the character of Mallory. I could picture Mallory very clearly.
Yes.
For sure.
Oh,
Yeah.
man.
And very tough.
Yeah.
You know, an elderly grandma.
She's like a bajillion
but
years
tough.
old, but she's a hunter.
Yeah.
That paid off so well. You fed us the entire trip, right?
Yes.
All
I
of
know,
your
right?
hunting, that worked out so good.
I was like, please let her roll as a hunter. Please let her roll as a hunter. It's like, yes.
The two things you guys never failed on was like finding food and setting up camp. Like those two
that's
things.
weird.
Oh, yes.
You guys, and that was with
Digby's glamping.
and that was with Digby that had like a terrible like stat for that and just always managed to roll.
Yeah, that was
Perfectly.
weird. It was only because I got saddled with this tent. As being a merchant, I started with a large tent, so I had to roll it. Yeah, and somehow I was rolling bushcraft. By the end of it, I had a 14 for bushcraft.
Oh, that's
which is
good.
pretty good.
Yeah, that is good.
Yoo-hoo.
I felt like I should be leveling it up.
I feel like it started way lower.
Yeah,
way
it was like
lower.
5 or 7 or something.
Yeah. No, that was cool. Those two things, I was just like, I was expecting at least one night of failing so we could go through sort of like not having sleep and go through the exhaustion stuff and ruining your next day and that kind of thing. But it never really happened.
Instead, we had eggs, bacon,
Rabbits.
nice warm tent.
Cozy little tent. Oh.
Question for myself: how many of you, of the three here? I guess there was 4 at the start. Thought there was just something that the true society was not a true society. Was that sold well, or were you guys like, this is bullshit? This isn't right?
What society calls themselves the Truth Society and actually has the truth? That's
fair. So
I believed it.
I bought into it 100%.
Yeah, I believed it. It's in the name. Truth Society.
I was like, these are the guys. Yep.
Okay, so only Moj saw through it. So were you kind of expecting a turnaround from Leonara then? Were you just sitting there waiting for Leonara to...
I mean, myself, I was giving her the hard side eye.
Okay.
But Mallory was just like, oh, it's a dear, sweet little,
I'm talking about Moj now. I'm talking about just Moj.
Yeah,
So
Moj was like, what's your deal?
Yeah.
Why? What? It's like, who are you?
Yeah.
I was waiting for us to like stumble on a circle of like cultists, and then one of the hoods comes back and it's like, oh, it's her.
So you could have found out Leonara was in on all of this quite early on if you had done more investigation about where these bats were coming from.
Yeah.
If you had decided to take, if you guys had taken some time, basically from, well, you know how like, what was his name? The stoner guy that lived next to the crypt. He was like, someone was being out there at night. If you'd followed that, you would have found Dranath. Yeah. If you'd sort of looked into what he was saying about someone being out there, I think you went out there, no one was there, but it was the middle of the day. If you'd come back at night time to investigate, quietly, stealthily, you would have seen Leonara tying a little message to a bat and sending it off.
Leonara's bat shop.
Yeah.
But it's totally, she'd be explaining it away. She's in the True Society. She'd be like, oh, this is just what we do.
Sure.
These are the good bats.
Yeah.
Those other bats.
For sure. She definitely would have tried to talk, around it.
She's crafty. I thought you meant as a
player.
Character. As a player, I don't trust anyone.
Oh, okay.
They're all full of shit. All right.
Not even Grub?
No, not even. Definitely not Grub.
Both me and Mallory had already adopted Grub.
I feel like Shannon legitimately hated Grub.
The moment his little
No, I
face
didn't
appeared and
know.
the little mouth is like, meh, meh. I
Shannon,
was like,
you're
oh,
allowed to
no.
hate Grub. I'm not going to be
No,
offended
no,
if you
I
hate
didn't
Grub.
like. I was just going. He's supposed to be hateable, isn't he?
Sure. Or lovable, either one.
Yeah. I actually liked the other one.
Chum.
Chum.
I really like
a
Chum
bit.
as
He
well.
was great. I mean, I did like Grub, but I was going with like in Labyrinth, Hoggle. But
Yes.
David Bowie never calls him Hoggle. He calls him Haggle or Higgle or whatever. He always gets his name wrong every time you see him. It's like, and he's like Hoggle. Yes, Haggle. Yeah, because actually it helps because then you don't have to remember his actual name.
That's true. That is true. I really like Chum as well. Chum was like he was a goblin. He knew he was a goblin. He was just sent out on a goblin task, and he was just being a goblin, and he just didn't really care. Whereas like Grub was this like whimpering little weakling of the goblins, which the book does not write him that way, but it was just the fact that he was left at Rittermound, like hiding from for good reason, hiding from this fucking wraith that's wandering the Rittermound, right?
That guy was horrible.
But I just decided if he's going to be hiding, he's got to be pathetic. I want to make him like a little pathetic little guy, and I feel like that. I think that worked for him.
Definitely.
Yeah.
He paid off really well. Like, the two of them dealt out significant damage throughout the campaign.
Yeah.
Like, oh dang! Like versus the White Death, they had landed a few bow shots. We're like, okay,
yes, that's right.
And numerous other encounters. And carrying those rocks was super.
A lot of rock carrying.
dropping those little stones.
Great.
Do we get to find out what was in that cave? The one that stunk of death and was full of bones, and we were like, let's mark it with the rock.
It's supposed to be a troll. Is that what we'd heard?
I gotta find that now.
There's a river nearby, right?
Let's have
a river.
I gotta remember.
Oh, river, yeah.
The Iron Forest. I gotta find it. I believe it had like a troll. I believe it had a troll. I gotta find it though. My gosh. There's like.
It would have been like a buff Jim Bunny troll as well, with like chainsaws for arms.
Yes. Yeah.
Not like that troll that was in the tower.
No, it would have been
elderly lady.
Legitimate.
A shrunken troll.
A legit troll. I can't remember where that was now.
Just to the northeast of the goblins. On the way to the pervy tree.
It was on.
Yeah, okay. There was so the lair would have been full of bone fragments. I think you even sent one of the goblins in there, like just to check it out. I think Chum checked it out. And he was like, there's a bunch of stuff. But if you go and search there for a stretch of time, you can find some treasure. But after one stretch, the troll, a proper troll, shows up. So it would have been a fight against a big deadly troll, not just an old lady troll. So let's have a look. I'm just going to bring up the stuff that a troll. So HP 38, it would get 2 turns. It regenerates health.
What the heck?
It's got a vomit move, which it vomits, and then you each get a condition of your own choice. A D10
more
slashing.
liquids on top of Wilkins.
yeah. A D10 slashing attack, a 2D8 piercing damage attack, a 2D6 ragdoll throw attack, 2D6 bludgeoning by like a sweeping kick, and then a mangling smash of 2d8 bludgeoning damage. So it would have been, that's what you would have found. So the spidey senses were tingling, and you guys all went, no, thank you. And I think that I was prepping. By the way, that cave, that whole encounter, random encounter. That was just extra on the journey. Okay. Yeah.
Oh.
The random encounters in this leave random encounters in D&D for dead. In D&D, I'd never really touched random encounters. The random encounters in Dragonbane are so good. I maybe used them a dozen times, maybe 15 times throughout that story, because they all felt so legitimately set for the areas you guys were in. It was always great.
I did like the way we noped out of so many things. We're like, up,
Yeah.
nope, U-turn, let's go.
Yeah.
Well, what do you get if you go into the troll?
2
cave?
treasure cards.
2 treasure cards, like
So,
X-Men 1990s cards, or
Like a
what's
shiny
treasure card?
Charmander. You know, like sometimes I would draw like little. I don't even know if you guys saw them. Every now and then, there is like there's a deck of cards.
Oh yeah, no, we did see them.
There's a deck of cards called treasure cards, and so
yeah.
for random loot, you just pull a set number of cards from the deck. So I was just doing that in Roll20.
Well, what would we have gotten?
We got a necklace and
Pull some cards out.
some point, remember?
So gold.
Yeah.
The top 2 that I just pulled out right now
Yeah.
is a 4d6 value gold ring and a 2d6 plus 5 gold value gold amulet. So that you would have gotten something along those lines.
Are they magical or just?
I rolled all
worth
3s
cash?
for 4d6.
So
3, 3, 3, 3.
a 12
That's
gold coin value ring and 2d6. Oh, sorry, 2d6 times 5. So roll 2d6.
Yahoo!
6 and a 6.
What, and a 60 gold value amulet.
Foo.
We'll be rich because we ended up with 76 gold pieces at the end of the whole campaign. So.
Christian asked if these were still sealed. Yes, they are still sealed. I haven't played it in person. I have no reason to
Oh, yeah, fair enough.
have these open. He said you can also draw a rat as a treasure card and it attacks you. So
Of course.
Oh
Ah,
no!
And it'll be poisoned as well, right?
And
I
then
bet they
there's
have like
a plague
a mimic.
status.
it looks like there's more in this one. So there's like gold coins.
like a bag of cigarettes.
And this is yeah, it's even got like the little golden
Yeah.
thing around the
Yeah.
top. So there's adventure cards and initiative cards and treasure cards. Which is very,
That's
very
cool.
cool.
It's kind of board gamey. That's cool.
Honestly, Free League do a very, very board gamey kind of feel to their packs, which is awesome. I feel like you could easily just sit down with a small group of people for like 2-3 hours and just pick one of the locations and just play that through. Very board gamey, I think. Very cool. Yeah, what do you guys think of? Okay, this is. I want to come to a consensus on this. Is Grub immortal now?
Absolutely.
No.
No.
Wilkes
He's probably dead already, you know.
Oh,
The next
yeah.
day, he would have been, woohoo, you know, like
Off a
the
cliff
king of the
somewhere.
world. Yeah. Slip on a banana and die.
yeah. Christian said I had to show these off as well because sure, why not? You also get little punch characters you can pop out and put on little standees.
Oh, that's cool.
Oh, yeah.
Aw.
And so it does
Like
have
little
that
paper
kind
dolls.
of. So it really does have that kind of board game feel.
Yeah.
Which is really cool.
I bet no one's ever taken them out because they like to keep the
Yeah,
thing intact because it looks so nice.
They just
they do. They
Fix
do
it
look real
occasionally.
good.
Yeah. Now you can just look at it.
Yeah, there's
Yeah.
even got like a
Yeah,
little.
they-
I reckon that's a good grub. It's not
Oh,
gonna
no.
show up.
Oh, this is why you need a real green
That
screen.
one.
All right.
Little grub. I feel
Oh, yeah.
Aw.
that's cool.
So small.
Yeah. I do kind of think somehow, somewhere along the line, Grub became immortal somehow.
Yeah.
And
Really?
he has no.
In our
it's,
hearts.
it's and
His memory will live on.
It's probably not because of the oath that he made, but somehow this is just completely coincidental. He is immortal. I think the fact that you found him at the end there, next to all these dead bodies, and he was okay, is his first hint. Maybe it is true. That's what I like to think.
All right.
That's
I like
that's
that.
your
Super
next
luck.
homebrew. Your next Dragonbane homebrew is Goblin's Highlander.
Oh, there can be only
Yeah.
one.
Yeah.
And
I
he's
like
got
it.
to go around and find the other Highlanders so that he can be the.
yeah. Asnog is waving. Hi, thanks for joining us, Asnog. We're just doing a debrief on our thing. Yeah, I don't know. What do you go? Do you think he should be immortal? Is that something that just a fun little?
I think he should think he's immortal.
Yeah.
He's
Live
totally
like he's
immortal
immortal.
until his immortality finishes.
Yeah, he definitely believes he's immortal for sure. I think Wilgus does as well, though, right? Does Wilgus think he
Absolutely.
is?
Yeah, he's
Wilgus thinks
pretty-
Wilgus is.
So
Yeah.
does okay.
Yeah, right.
Wilgus thinks he is for sure. That's the whole point of how he got here, right? Like he's impressionable with his like stupid headband thing and enlightenment and all that sort of jazz. So
Conspiracy theories.
he's into it. He is sold on immortality.
Yeah.
Still doesn't know what an oath is, but that's
Ooh,
fine.
Not interested.
Well, he made the oath, so now he's immortal. That was good. I really like that.
Yeah, me too. That was amazing.
So dumb.
Yeah, I like that. I like that Wilgus always found new things to have dumped on him.
That
There's
was
always something.
Don't know how they happened.
every excrement possible in Liberty Vale. Wilgus was all about it.
Yeah. I'm trying to think what was the first one. What was the first time it happened? Was it the
Maybe
bird
Bat
woman? Oh, okay.
Equino?
What?
Yeah,
Oh, batshit. Got you.
like in Outskirt. I think even before we started the adventure proper, I think I got some of that on me. Maybe
Yeah.
I could be
Right.
remembering that with the harpy guano.
And it was all just luck, wasn't it? Like,
Those
It just
harpies
rolled
were
that way.
disgusting.
no one else got hit by anything.
Reagan's like, I'm going to shit on you.
No, no, it
Yeah,
was.
from a great height.
What's funny is that I totally got Wilgus when I should have targeted Christoph. The harpies were meant to be targeting whoever had the food, and I thought it was Wilgus,
Mm.
and so that should have been Christoph. So that was purely luck.
Fully
for,
got shit on
Wilgus.
there.
Yeah, vomited and shit on from these harpies.
And then
Just
there was a
both
bucket of
ends.
shit that fell on you from a door.
Yeah.
Oh my god.
Oh, yeah. You were the
that
first
seems
one into
to
that
toilet.
room.
Wait,
Yeah,
was
yeah.
it poop or itching powder or?
Both.
Yeah. The itching powder. Then you walked in, like, everyone knew that the toilet stall was, like, smelly, but you decided to just go in there anyway.
Go check him out.
Inquisitive.
Enlightenment's in there somewhere.
Yeah. Lyndon says if Grub does die, he'll just be very disappointed in himself. Oh, maybe that's Wilgus. Maybe that's Wilgus.
If he is immortal, then I can imagine, he's around when everyone else is dead. Like the fucking planet's exploded and he's just floating in space.
Yeah.
Alone. just
Shannon's like, how can I think of a fate worse than death?
Yeah.
like
that's
that's
what
what
you
it would
get.
be like being immortal, right? It was like
Yeah.
that's the true horror of it. Yeah, you
But that's
don't
so
die.
far away.
Yeah,
That's for
the
later
point.
immortal Grub to deal with.
That's immortality.
Yeah.
I reckon he'll have a stamp collection.
Oh yeah, in space. That will be good. Those are counting stars.
Yeah.
Oh, but yeah.
Start again. Just do it. Keep going. Yeah.
Oh my god.
I'm trying to think of. Oh yeah. So there was the setup, obviously, of the Maladuke being told to get an army ready to meet you guys where the next, and then they never showed up. Right?
Yeah, what was up with that?
There was a couple of reasonings that in my head was like the truth for what would happen depending on what I had. A couple of things ready to go, which is kind of like, if this happens where you guys have gone, then I'll pick A, and if something else happens, then I'll pick B. So one of them I thought you guys were gonna die. I thought TPK for sure, in which case a bunch of goblins would have shown up to help out, and they would have followed the stones that Grub had left, as a nice, they're late, but they're there. Yeah. But the one I was hoping that didn't happen, because I liked the idea that just like the Truth Keepers, the Maladuke didn't really think you guys were going to be able to do it. So why send more out to the slaughter when she can just she didn't even know if there was one out there. We'll keep looking around our area first. Maladuke's mindset was like, we'll get there eventually. We'll get that far out eventually. So the idea was they're not going to find it, and if they do, they're probably going to die anyway. So let's not send people.
It's fair.
Yeah. It wasn't until like Grub returned with like that orc banner, war banner, that was like, holy shit, we need to. It's on. These guys are gonna do it. Yeah.
When you said you're worried about TPK and then you're going to send goblins, we're going to send goblins to make sure the TPK happens.
Yeah, no, to help you guys out. There's like
Stab us on the ground.
There was a couple of. There was so many moments where I was like, well, they're dead. This is going to be a short session. This is going to be over. And I had so many little things planned in case of a TPK. What scared me the most was you guys were just running through the final area, and you missed like that little prison area where there was like the orc and the other truth social guy, whatever his name was.
He was guy.
Yeah. Because in the book it says, oh, if it's too hard, have them show up to help. And I'm like, they haven't met them. I can't just have them show up and have like strangers show up and help save the day, because that would just be so unsatisfying. So I was racking my brain over what was going to happen there. I had something planned out. I don't know if you guys want to know or even care to know, to be honest, if it would spoil.
One other question. Would Glam have shown up if we didn't return the statue to him? Because you know how we said, oh yeah, we'll totally save the day and we'll let you know. But then we're like, no, we've used the statuette piece to open up the...
Yeah, no. He would not have shown up. Yeah.
Nice.
Yeah. Basically, I wanted characters to show up who believed you guys were going to be there and had something to happen. And so that's why with that orc banner, massive for Maladuke, that was. Getting those statue pieces back was, Glamion was like, they've done it, so let's go.
Nice.
And he's like, and he was thinking he could end up with those hot giant women at the new spire as well.
Definitely.
Yeah. I really like Glam. Okay, let's. What was your favorite NPC of the campaign?
Oh no.
Who's in the running? Gob? Maladuke?
Yeah.
Glam.
Oh, yeah. I'll let you guys decide who's in
Tom
the
Hardy at the game.
Tom
Hardy, yeah. That's right. Soft mod.
Soft mod.
That we never met.
No, we never met him.
Oh, right. Yeah.
Well, Glam's got the best name.
Badonkadonk.
Yeah.
Badonkadonk.
Badonkadonk lasted so well.
Badonkey.
I really was looking for a moment to kill off Badonkadonk. It never came.
He's immortal now, did you know?
Yeah.
He's immortal.
Trying to think who else.
The bandits.
So there's Chum, Grub, Maladuke,
Marky Mark.
The old lady troll, Glam, Hardy, Tom Hardy.
That
Leonora
ghost.
And Botheld.
A couple of ghosts.
Yeah.
Oh yeah, Bothell
and the
was
ghost that
hilarious.
we got the thing from, that ghost at the table.
Yeah. And then there was
the wraiths.
The lady who sort of looked after the whole
the
flame keepers person
with the leather jacket.
Yeah, she was in plate mail. But I like that you, in your mind's eye, you're like leather jacket. Elphilia. Elphilia.
Yeah.
Oh yeah.
And Quasimund, who you didn't really get to deal with too much, to be honest.
There was that dwarf, Chris.
Is it NPC?
Christoph.
He was a great NPC.
I loved him. Came alive.
The storekeeper. Christian just said the storekeeper.
Yeah.
Maybe
one of the bats.
The bats, maybe.
Oh yeah,
that was a favorite.
2 silver per head.
That was good.
Yeah.
That vibed so well with just violence.
Yeah, and my money making mania.
Yeah.
I mean, I'm gonna say Grub. I
Yeah.
loved Grub. Grub was team mascot. How do you not love Grub? And then followed by Badonkadonk and then Glam Glam. Oh, Badonkadonk.
Yes.
Grub loved Mallory. I think he was so, you were the first one he met, and you looked after him, made sure he was safe in Riddermound from the others, and then you got him out of there, and that was it. He was basically just like, I owe you my life. So that was, he absolutely adored Mallory.
I think of course Mallory had a soft spot for him.
Yeah.
But it's like, oh no, look, we've got a team mascot now. Now we got to protect him. Can't let him out of our sight. I don't know. Does it happen to you guys? Do you adopt goblins a whole bunch?
Wow. After he got
Just
the hots
me?
for that harpy, and I was like, this guy's lost it.
That was Chum. Chum got the hots for the harpy.
Yeah.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
I was like,
I'd
Oh, damn.
forgotten about that completely.
you're not allowed back
damn.
on the. And they kept sitting on the cart. I was like, "Well, who let you on the cart?" Standing it up. No. I liked Glam Glam. I like Glam Glam. He's cool.
Yeah, I think Glam Glam was my favorite. As the person running them, I really enjoyed Glam Glam.
Yeah, very powerful.
Yeah.
When he
Very powerful guy.
wasn't stomping us into a damp patch on his lawn.
Yeah.
That was before I carry on. Reese, did you have a favorite?
Grub for sure.
Yeah.
I had to try hard as myself to not kill every goblin I see just because of my inner sig. Like, I'm gonna kill all the goblins.
Yeah.
And then Maladuke, we had conversations with all of the goblins. I'm like, this isn't going well. Like, we're talking with the goblins, and we were on Team Goblin for the entire time. I'm like, what am I doing? What am I doing to myself? But no,
Yeah, Moj, by the way, so the last character Reese played for us was Sig, and Sig's hometown was destroyed by goblins, and so goblins have been like Reese's arch enemy for like years.
wrote a book on it.
Yeah, literally wrote
Yes.
a book on it. Yeah.
Did you find parts of your previous characters like leaking into this?
Violence, that helped.
Oh, yeah?
Yeah.
They're good armor.
Yeah.
That's
And
a running theme.
his name, Wilgus, is Wilson, which is from our other
Yes.
session, and then Sig mixed together and jammed together. So you can never escape him.
Yeah. Speaking of Sig and Wilgus, is your next character going to be a similar kind of fighter? So this is good because I know someone told me that you're working on the new outfit for the next campaign.
Went down to Mitre 10 and got some supplies.
Nice.
Oh, flips.
Started
Nice.
some construction. We'll keep you guys posted. We've not got something to show yet.
Are we going to be fully armored again?
We'll see. haven't decided fully yet, but got some plans.
Oh, okay, very cool.
Wow.
Was that 35,000 kilonewtons?
that was amazing.
That plan.
That was just so good. Can you take us through that plan again? Because I don't think anyone understood it.
So when that session ended, I was like, this giant, like, what the heck can we do? And I like mentally struggled with it. I'm like, right,
I'm just going to.
this is what we're going to do. And I planned the entire thing for like the whole week. I'm like, okay, I'm going to have to draw it up. Did several different versions of the plan, like dust off my high school physics to try and calculate how much damage this was do. And then I like researched up how much force an arrow takes. And I already knew he could take a couple of arrows and not worry. I'm like, okay, what can do more damage than an arrow? I'm like, okay, we need a trebuchet, but we didn't have a trebuchet. And sort of tried to think of that sort of stuff.
And that's why you just kept hoping for a trebuchet.
Yeah. I mentioned that. And came up with that plan. I'll see if I can find.
You think goblins could build a trebuchet?
Try. They can certainly try.
They could put a rock in a sock. That's like half a trebuchet right there, right?
I've got up on Roll20 for viewers, and if you guys were in Roll20, you'd see it. Just that like little AI image of the plans that we put together. Just super.
Who made
cool.
that?
Well, Reese gave me the sketch. I gave the sketch to like ChatGPT and made a little kind of real sort of image of Wilgus holding it out at the bandit camp with all the mist from the area floating through. I thought it was very, very cool. Nice little way to
cool.
elevate that up
without because
it kept the drawing perfect. It was great. It didn't, which is the most important. That's the most important part. The rest
I thought you must have photoshopped that onto another background.
Literally just gave them the sketch, which was a photo of a piece of paper. And it did the rest, and it did it really, really well.
Interesting. Is it supposed to be all grey?
That's like
mist. Misty.
Yeah,
mist. Oh, did you say in the Misty Vale? Okay.
Yeah. I said because it gave me a version, and I was like, oh, can you add like he's standing in mist, and it just spat out a new version with the mist. It was really, really cool. But again, I like the use of AI not to create just an image, but to enhance what was already like the important part. The important
really
part
like
being
drawing there.
that hand drawn from Wilgus is just fantastic.
So you've made holes on every floor to drop something through,
but not
and chiseled halfway through the bottom one. Yeah, and then you get him to stand below that.
He's already asleep, so this would be above.
Oh, he's sleeping below it.
Did you calculate how much energy would be lost as it hits that last layer that is only half sort of chiseled out?
I didn't.
Right.
But I figured the shrapnel generated from that floor breaking, landing on him would help. So it's like when you go to physics, you can ignore friction. Like,
right, yeah.
I didn't do air resistance. But I
saw your. Oh, sorry.
You go. Right.
I saw your plan, and it made me think of the Twin Towers. How
wait, what?
No,
me too.
No, because they an engine. Because they were like, how did they just go brrr, like that when they fell down? And it was basically like it weakened at the top, and it just started speeding up at the bottom because of the massive weight collecting as it went down. So when I was looking at it, I was like, oh my gosh, this is this is gonna get crazy. But I was like, how many weeks do we have to work on this plan?
Yeah.
Wouldn't have been
you're like the Bin Laden of TNT.
I'd rather a different nickname. I did like the way that Wilgus thought that was super inspired. But the majority of the campaign, he's an idiot. But every now and then,
this is a proper plan.
This is time to whip out the thinking.
Now, Reese, you have played like two idiots back to back with Wilgus.
Only two?
Wilgus and the guy from Dragonbane.
Biko.
Biko, yeah. But what about that one you played in like Text D&D? Who was the stupidest idiot of all time? But your whole conceit was like he's so stupid that he can't do anything. But if he gets hit one time, then his brain comes back, and he's very smart.
That's
but
right.
he never got hit the entire campaign.
You just got to commit to those character flaws. Session 0. I'm like, let's go. It'll only be for a few sessions. Oh,
I know, but and nobody knew.
Sorry,
it would have awakened.
I missed in the chat. And didn't we disguise Grub as a leprous child?
That's right.
That was a leprous child.
He was Temu Grogu.
Yeah, I like that. I liked how bought in that was. It wasn't just like we've rolled a disguise. Yeah, he's good. It was like full description, and it kind of carried along with you guys for a while as well. It was great.
Yes, in my mind, he is still
dressed like that.
A child with an actual leprous child.
Yeah. Immortal though, just leprous.
Yeah, just with sores.
Yeah. Is there like an area that you guys went to that stands out?
Swamp. The swamp was quite evocative, wasn't it? Of being horrible. With spiders, and I just imagine trudging through it. It was good.
Had those flies just constantly buzzing around.
Yeah, they were really loud on Sirenscape.
Yeah, my Sirenscape hasn't worked for months, but the flies were just like,
like
dang it, okay.
You guys had volume controls, right?
No, even if I turned it down, it was like, yeah.
Oh, okay.
I was like, what's it like on your end? Yeah, but it was
super subtle. It was.
They were
really
just flies.
subtle.
Yeah. Because the rest of it is normally subtle, but the flies were like, going nuts.
Yeah,
and that was quite realistic.
Yeah, super annoying. Yeah.
What else?
Yeah,
I liked the mini towers that we burned.
Oh yeah.
That was cool. Every tower.
Is there like a moment that you can picture from the campaign that stands out? Like you've got like an image in your mind that stands out above anything else. That's how I normally end the campaign. I'm just like, oh, I can still just picture that one awesome moment.
For me, I really loved the battle scene just prior to making it to the island of Mirror Lake, where we're like, there's all the baddies, and we're like, shit, we're gonna get murdered by everybody, and then all the goblins arrive, and Grubs arrives, and Glams arrive. We're like, it felt very Lord of the Rings. Gandalf bringing the army down the hill moment for me. It was like, yeah, we did it.
Absolutely.
That's good. That was a moment I really wanted to make sure that like landed. That was a super important. Anything else before I carry on with my?
When we got all the statue pieces together and we got the sword and we came out and the fucking Truth Society turned out to be the baddies, that was quite a scene up on the hill, and they were trying to bargain for it, really. So we had to decide. Yeah, but they're like, will you give us this, we'll give you that.
Yeah.
And we're like, oh no.
Yeah.
I really liked what was it called? Was it the barrow? Where we went up on the hill and we had to go in through that rock that we spent like half an hour trying to figure out how to open up the rock.
Yeah. This is like the first thing.
Yeah, Riddermount.
Yeah.
Yes. But like the whole you're in this big huge cave with these doors, and then we're being chased around Scooby-Doo style, like through all these scary halls by this ghost, and it was just very atmospheric. And then when we found out that we could like go back through the doors, have a breather, have a regroup, and then like try and get back in there, it was like, this is
I was trying so hard to drop hints that was a safe room, like every chance I could get.
Got to put a typewriter on it.
Yeah. And chill.
Put a save point.
I need to like
point.
Next time we do a story that has a safe room, I need to have like something in Sirenscape, so anytime you're in that room it just goes to like nice chill music, and then you back out into that room just to
like elevator music.
just like Resident Evil safe room stuff. Yeah. I was like, I couldn't spell it out anymore without just being like, it is safe in that door.
Is that what you were doing with the library?
Yeah. I went a bit heavier with the library. I was a bit more obvious with the library at the end there, I think.
That was a good, that final dungeon thing had a lot of traps, which is quite cool.
It was cool, yeah. I don't think anything else I've run has had that kind of level of puzzles and traps. Which was quite cool. Very dangerous. Constant danger.
Yeah, dang.
Like, if one of us had been knocked off that little gangplank into that room with the water at the bottom, how are we going to get out?
So you've got rope, I guess, would be one thing. You can climb up the edges with good rolls. But it actually, there's a secret tunnel that like connects to, there's, that one room that had like the revolving doors, that there was like a hole that you could drop down. I think what's meant to happen is that someone messes up and they drop down that hole, and the water rushes them back over to where the bridges were that you could have fallen off with the rocks. So, yeah.
wrecking balls.
Yes.
That
Yeah.
Wilgus was luckily crawling
Beautiful.
when went through.
Ooh,
Yeah,
that
it
was
good.
lucky.
Yeah. One of my big challenges was because you mentioned that sort of the army and the big fight before heading to the Isle of Mist is the book doesn't really say what to do if you've amassed an army, because it's the same. It was the same with like Curse of Strahd. You've got this one big powerful guy, and then you've got all these different factions. Why wouldn't you want to bring them all together to fight the big bad guy? But neither book, neither Curse of Strahd, nor this campaign we've just played,
kind of what is building up to do, right?
It's like that's a surprise that you even thought about that. They're just like, wait, huh? But it's like, I think ideally you might take Maladuke in with you, or you might take a couple of the
Immaculate Flame
guys. True social guys in there with you.
Yeah.
But the fact that you kind of got everybody on board, I had to plan something that made sense without you guys all being like, oh, but we just wanted to take them all to the island with us. It's like, no, because then it would just be stupid easy. So yeah, it was kind of like a way to rid you of all of your backup. That I just kind of quickly planned out and got in there.
And get the payoff that they're doing something and you've made friends and powerful friends. And stuff.
Yeah, because I didn't want it. I didn't want it just to be like, oh, they're caught up. I wanted to make sure it was this big.
They send their regards.
Yeah. You
can do it.
Yeah. If anything, we'll be here if you need us. That kind of thing. Yeah. So yeah, but creating something that had that payoff to amassing a lot of people on your side, making that this big awesome moment, but then also making it so full on that you didn't want to join in the fight, because I was worried, oh god, they might just want to join in. So I can't have that. I got to really have them feel like they're overwhelmed and have the Immaculate Flame guys like pushing you, like, go, we've got this, we'll hold them back, you just got to go, like really trying to build up that push to get the hell out of there. So I was really happy with that. Like none of that in this book, zero of it.
Impressive, man.
So very, very happy that landed.
It was super epic. Like I was when you were describing it, I was just like, oh my gosh, and then later on I was like, oh no, did people just see me like staring with a blank face because I've gone into my like mind theater watching this epic
just
fight
like big eyes
come over the hills. It's just like, oh.
Yeah. But
I am glad that you didn't like kill anybody in front of us, because I reckon, I would have been totally distracted and like run back to help whoever it was.
Yeah. It was really funny because Christian being like the Free League guy, I've talked to him a lot about where this not help with the campaign, but like a sounding board for this campaign, because also he's been watching and doesn't want to have things spoiled either. So every now and then I'd be like, I don't know what to do about this, and I'm thinking about doing this, and I'm thinking about doing that, and then he'd give me some thoughts, and I'd be like, okay, I think I've got something planned, but I wouldn't want to tell him what it was either, because it's still going to be enjoyable for him to watch and not just have it all spoiled. Speaking of, we've got a question. How did the players feel about their autonomy in the campaign? Did it feel... I think that's a good question. Did it feel railroady, or did it feel like you guys were in control? And how does that compare to maybe some of the other campaigns I've run for you guys, or other campaigns that you've played?
I think it felt super open-worldy. Like, we got to outskirt, we kind of got some general understanding as to where the different things were, and we're like, this way. And then once we were there, we're like, that way. So I think that gave me the sense of we could kind of do whatever we wanted. We could go back to outskirt, we could not go back to outskirt. We could go bathe in the pond and hunt ducks, and not ducks, squirrels, or rabbits or other stuff, you know.
All throughout the game, I was very sure to mention that she was okay with eating ducks because they were not mallards.
Yeah.
If you had asked her to eat other mallards, she'd be like, "Are you a freak? No, thank you." But if it's a duck, it's a duck. Just eat a duck. But wait, what were we talking about? Oh, the open world.
Yeah.
And us that first time looking at the map, and we're all like, "Oh, what is that? What is that? I want to go there. I want to go there." It was a really cool map.
Yeah, it's an amazing map, and there's you, as much as it may have felt like you could have gone anywhere, I did want to make sure that
we didn't go
you
to
didn't
the
tick
Mirror
them all
Lake
off?
straight away.
Well, no, you could have gone there straight away if you wanted to. You just wouldn't have been able to do anything because of the mist would have killed you. But I guess the book is done in a way that it doesn't state where the statue pieces are. So, I wasn't. No. It's just kind of. It gives you the first one from the guy with the package dying at the very start, and then it's up to the DM to just put 3 somewhere, and you can figure that out when they're already at a place, and you go, "Oh, this might be a good place to find one," or you could. The idea could be if you've got a group that wants to play a 4-year game, then you go everywhere, and they
have
might
rumors and things
yeah. So while it feels like you could have gone anywhere, you were never ever going to go to like Fort Malice. You were never going to go to the Temple of the Purple Flame. You were never going to go to the Village of the Day Before. There's so many little places that
Village of the Day Before.
Yeah, that's one of the villages.
That sounds like fun.
There's a few there that you would never have gone to because I just would not have led you there. There were rumors. We're never going to drop the rumors of those places.
But some things, they looked cool on the map, but you said there was no entry in them. Like in the top right, there was some sort of like fire with stones and things like that. And we're like, that one looks cool, but apparently was not in the book.
It's not you could, I guess, make your own little homebrew adventure for that, but it wasn't in the book,
And the tree.
The tree, and in Deepfall Breach was that like church with the hole to hell in it that you mentioned a few times. That's like the single player story that you can, or adventure,
right, for learning it also.
There's like a single player mode in most Free League books, and that one is based at Deepfall Breach. So
gotcha.
I don't know why you could take a group through it, but it doesn't really have a set story to it. You build it in a very like roll the dice and figure out what the next room is kind of way, which is cool. I just, with a system I was new to, I didn't feel comfortable jumping into that one. So what I did was I kind of like looked at a couple of places that I thought were interesting, which was Riddermound. I'd heard that was a really good starting one. The Tower of Sighs I really liked. And then the Oracle Cave, which was you didn't end up going to. That was the one with the rumors of the big giant spider. So those were like the 3 areas that I was like, oh yeah, that's where I'm going to put the pieces. And so you guys went to Riddermound, straight out of Outskirt, and I was like, then you'd already had some rumors of the Tower of Sighs at that point, and I'm like, oh yeah, they're going to go to the Tower of Sighs, and you guys are all like, let's go to the Goblin's Harem. And I'm like, fuck. Okay. I hadn't read about it.
Grub sort of led us that way, though. Really?
Yeah, I thought you guys were just going to be like, no. Like, why would we go to your?
Well, he was such a no. In some games, like goblins are evil.
Yeah.
In some games, they're kind of like just a different sort of bunch of NPCs and that you can interact with, and they're not necessarily going to murder you. And he seemed like that kind of goblin.
Yeah, I think he mentioned that like they were also looking for pieces of the statue, and so you guys were like, oh, well, let's go chat to your boss then. And I was like, I haven't read anything about this area. I don't know. Okay, let's do it. That's the.
Oh no.
So that was cool, and then
that was a fun one. It has like that white death or whatever, like stalking him like a squid.
Yeah. So there
and
could have
door
been
that chops off hands.
Oh yeah.
A door that chopped off hands.
The pantry.
This is where Bothel's stuff was. Yeah.
Oh.
The one that made Wilgus hate Bothel.
Yeah, that's right. That's right. Yeah, he hated him. Her. So yeah, I could have put a statue piece in at Bothold's area in that little treasury that she said you could have anything in there. But I was like, oh, we're gonna be, if you guys get the second piece now, like that quickly, and then you're just gonna go to the Tower of Size, you can have all three super quick. So I added in the idea of, oh, maybe it had been stolen by someone years ago, and it was a troll, and it didn't make sense for it to be at the Oracle. So now it's at the Troll Spire, and then on the way to the Tower of Size, I realized that kind of the spooky inn that you guys were, it's like right there. I'm like, well, I can't not have that. I could have put the statue piece there as well, but I like the idea of it being like a journey, because like the Tower of Size itself, there wasn't really much there. It was just, I looked it over and it was just a giant that you have to convince or kill, and then you get the piece. It's like, it's super quick.
Oh, yeah.
So it made sense to put that Road's End in to be like a difficult journey to get to the spot where it's a relatively simple thing to wrap it up.
Go through a swamp and all that sort of.
Yeah.
But things will seem simple, but characters or players will, make difficult things easy or hard things. No. Yeah. I mean, it was supposed to be simple, but yeah, we did a full plan.
Sorry, guys.
For dropping the tower on him, etc. All that sort of stuff. Or we make a cake, etc. So
even
make
like,
your own fun.
Even Digby convincing Glam that he was alone and getting down into the thing and coming out with that statue piece. Yay! It was just like,
it was so Frodo, right?
It was so good.
Like Frodo was Smaug.
Yeah.
Smaug.
Yeah. True. Smaug.
Oh no, you went in there alone first and then managed to sneak the others in after.
You know what? I could have just gone in because I got chickened out though, but there was nothing really dangerous down there. But I didn't want to just do it all by yourself. Like, oh, I've gone and got the whole piece or whatever.
That was the thing. I read it and it was like, oh, there's literally nothing down there. You just go down there and get it. I'm like, no, I've got to put something before it just to make that journey there more difficult.
Oh, what were the what about the ghosts? They were in there, right? In the book?
They just walked past you, remember? They just walked past you and...
I thought you had to freeze... Oh, right. It's just opening that freeze them.
Yeah, you just opened it. That was it.
So has he never lifted the boulder?
Never once. Never once.
Not very inquisitive.
Because he just realized that people want that boulder moved, so he can just get people to do things for him from the promise of, yes, I'll move it. And he's probably done this numerous times over decades and decades. Until people get bored and leave.
It's like the Curse of Oak Island. If you've ever seen that show.
Yes.
I love
Oak Island. Yes. I love Oak Island. Not the show, but the whole idea of Oak Island.
I know. Amazing. It would be good if something actually happened.
Yeah.
Just watch one more episode.
Yeah. They got to crack it this time. Yeah. So some coconut husk. They're onto it.
That and Bigfoot hunters. They'll get it. They'll find him eventually.
You just wait.
Are there any TV shows about skinwalkers? Because I'd be into that.
Is that like a shapeshifter?
Yes.
Like a werewolf?
Like werewolves. Alien werewolves that can time travel and teleport is probably the fastest way you can explain skinwalkers.
Because Bigfoot can time travel, right?
That's what I've heard.
Yeah.
He's got a connection with like the Greys and stuff as well.
Right, yeah.
It's all connected.
Of course it's all connected. Of course. So what was the question? Oh yeah, about just autonomy and stuff. So yeah, so you guys felt pretty free just to just do anything, go anywhere, do whatever. Which is good. How does that compare to other campaigns? I know both Shannon and Reese, you guys played my little homebrew. I feel like that was super railroady. That was very linear A to B.
Yeah, I mean everything's railroad to an extent. I don't really like the term too much because you're presented with a quest, right? That the DM has come up with, and you just got to play along to some extent. You can't go, well, yeah, I know you want to get the pieces, but I want to go do something completely different. Well, who cares about Sathmog or whatever? Yeah. So you have to buy in and go, you come up with a reason for your character to do the quest. So
which
in
is
that way,
really funny. There's a friend of mine is DMing a group of players, and they are very much the type of players that are just like, let's do anything at all.
Okay.
My character wants to steal chickens, and it's just like, all right,
I'm an
well,
economist.
Now the whole game is about you getting chickens for like 4 sessions. Like, I don't know, like,
Gotcha.
yeah.
Mayor Munchie's McButtcheeks.
Sorry. Mayor Munchie's
So
butt
there's an image on Reddit D&D today, and
Okay.
it says the DM is reading his book, right? It says intricate political intrigue, and he's looking at his book. And he's like, yeah. And the players come along, and they're like, right, we want to make a goat the mayor. And then the DM's like, and then they name the goat Mayor Munchie's McButtcheeks.
Yeah.
So it's based on Whangamomina.
Say what?
Oh, don't worry.
Whangamomina?
The Republic in the middle of the North Island had a goat for a mayor.
Okay. I didn't know that.
They must play a lot of D&D.
Yeah, they probably
They're real life players lapping.
He was assassinated, and then there was a suspicious barbecue a few days later.
Oh my gosh!
No.
Oh my gosh!
Oh, president.
Yeah, I think I've been very lucky in everything that I've run that you players want to play the story that's being told, that it's not so boring that you feel the need to create something more interesting.
Yeah. I guess that's one way of putting it, but I think just people just don't get it if they're doing that. You know, they're like, oh, D&D, you know, because D&D, the appeal is that you can be imaginative, do whatever you want, but they've taken it to the stage where we're not even doing what's presented to us. We're just some sort of weird sandbox. I know other people have run into it a lot. Like I used to play with someone else, and he said the other party that he was running, they just decided to make money by buying things and selling things.
Right.
You know, they're not even doing it. Yeah.
I've heard the exact same thing. Where like I think there was one of the players was a what's that class where you can build stuff?
Artificer.
Yeah, that's the one. And so he just ended up like building vehicles for the townspeople and stuff like that, and making money. It's just like, what are you doing? Like, what game are you playing at this point?
Yes.
Oh, funny.
I've always been like, it's fantasy role play. If I want to play a human doing a boring ass job, I've got the rest of the day that I've just been through pretending to be an adult.
You can be like a
boring
cat person doing a boring ass job. Yes.
Yeah. And I'd be worried as a DM if I was like, okay, well, while you guys are fucking around, the big bad is killing a bunch of like I'm stomping on their fun. By bringing back like the importance of the story that they're ignoring.
You got to. I would just murder them.
Yeah. Which is why I said I feel like I'm very lucky. Every single campaign, everything I've run has just respected like everyone's time and the focus. Like really well. Yeah, okay. Is there anything else you guys wanted to talk about in regards to Dragonbane? Any kind of debriefing you guys wanted to do about the journey?
Spoilers? What do you got? Spoil it all.
Right. Yeah. Shoot, I don't even know. Like, I've kind of moved on.
Spoil things that we missed out on, like on our way. Like if we, the cave troll is a good one.
Yeah, I'm just gonna flip.
About the room in the last Road's End Inn that had like spider webs in there, and we walked in and we're like, we're never going there.
Yeah.
Like,
I mean,
I'll
give you one guess what was in there.
A giant
Spiders
fly.
equal no. Spiders equal no.
No spiders. Actually, what was in there was a giant spider's remains, because what was in there was
we did see that, didn't we?
Did you? Oh no, you did. You did see the remains.
We saw the dead body, and we're like, ooh.
Yeah.
went around.
So basically, if you'd really gone any further in and got caught up in the webs, a bunch of bone shamblers, which is a type of enemy, would have come out like a
skeleton.
I'll see if we've got a thing of what a bone shambler looks like. It's just call it a skeleton, but
Avoids the trademark, right?
which attracts as many. Well, no, because they've got like skeletal archers and skeleton champion. So what the fuck is a bone? Here you go, bone shambler. What does it look like? It just looks like a skeleton, to be honest. I don't know why.
Shambler. That sounds like a full name, though, isn't it? Like someone's name is Bone Shambler.
Yeah. Yeah.
Mr. Shambler was my father.
Yeah.
Call me Bone.
Boney.
They've literally got the
The
same icon as like a skeleton warrior, so it's just another skeleton, I guess.
That's
Why?
typical skeleton.
Oh,
Remember, like
okay.
undead.
The difference being skeleton
Anti-undead.
archers and skeleton warriors and skeleton champions are NPCs, whereas this bone shambler is a monster. That's the difference.
Gotcha.
And must be killed.
Fucking hell. So, like, what a bone hero or whatever you just said is an NPC.
So a bone shambler is a monster. The skeletal guys are NPCs. So one has to roll for the moves. The other one just is a
Just murder.
Oh, so it doesn't mean like they're necessarily just attacking or anything. They're just like that's their stat block type.
Stat block type, yeah. I'm trying to think of what else that you guys missed. Oh, there was something in the Road's End Inn that you missed as well. There was like a doll in a cot or something.
Yeah, we're not going
No,
near
we
that.
saw that, didn't we?
You saw it, but you didn't take it with you.
Who takes a haunted doll? Only
Yeah.
stupid people that die in the movie.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's
so-
5 minutes of the movie, right? That's what they do.
Exactly.
Yeah, so
You brought this on yourself, you Egypt.
if you'd taken it with you when you got into like the room that had stair in it, it would
That thing was horrible. I thought we were going
Yeah.
to die in there.
Yeah. It slowly begins to move. It says nothing, but just keeps looking at Stair. The doll doesn't deal any damage, but the sight of it makes Stair excited and increases her ferocity by 1, which is like the amount of turns she gets.
Oh, yeah?
So if you'd taken the doll with you, it would have just gotten her all freaked out and more
Oh my
angry.
gosh.
Wait, was Steer? I've forgotten. Was Steer framed for killing
Yeah.
Yes,
the
yeah.
baby?
Yeah.
It's a bit tragic, isn't
It
it?
was very
Yeah.
tragic.
Poor little thing.
And that one, I was always like, oh, okay, it's obvious that they can talk and reason and stuff. And it was giving like vibes like you could do something other than kill it.
And you
But then
could. It was
what
just
could you
hard
do?
to. If you had freed its shackles,
I was
Then-
trying that.
then it would have like
So
just
my
bolted
knife.
for the portal and disappeared, and that's it. You'd have saved Steer, but the chain itself, the shackle itself, is like
Real tough.
really really tough.
8 armor or something mental.
20 HP with an armor rating of 9.
Oh, dude,
So you
what
have to
the
do
heck?
you have to do above 9 to
Yeah.
start even doing any chip
Yeah.
damage to it.
Yeah, pretty much. All the meanwhile, she's like attacking and freaking out.
Yeah.
So it's possible, but it's not very likely.
Not with
The-
a knife.
Well, you had that knife with the
You had to
eye
stop-
on it.
A knife with an eye on it. Yeah.
Oh, yeah. What, did that do anything? Was
Yeah.
it just style points?
No. So the dagger deals 2d8 damage against Steer, but works normally against anyone else. So that was like massive damage against Steer.
What the
okay.
fuck?
Massive damage.
Wow.
But boring damage against anything else.
Normal.
it's
No
Just normal
damage.
damage. Yeah.
I've got an 18 for knife. I think also with the leveling up, before I forget, like by the end of the game, you are very powerful, right? Because you
Yeah.
basically don't miss with your bow and arrow, eh? So you
True.
basically doing some big hits.
I'm trying to
It's
think of
like-
what other kind of spoilers I've even really got. I know I had some along the way that I was just like, oh yeah, this is so cool. Like, you guys missed out on blah, or you missed out on. There was one thing that I was like, oh, I can't believe you guys missed out on that, but I don't remember what that was now.
Was it a
Damn.
trebuchet?
I think it might have been a trebuchet. No,
Something in the swamp?
I think it was like a really awesome weapon.
Mhm.
Nuts.
but I just don't remember where it was now.
You're gonna need weapons.
Yeah, I'm not 100%.
I was quite
sure.
bummed out we missed that final riddle.
That was
Yes.
awesome.
So close.
That was so cool.
So close.
I was
Like
listening
30
to the
seconds
riddle.
later, I was like, oh.
Yeah.
Like legit, usually when you hear riddles in games like this, you're like, Blair, you know,
Yeah.
it's a clock, it's
Yeah.
a chair, it's a
Yeah.
something. And then I'm listening to these, I'm like, holy smoke, these are written really well.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It's too well.
Yeah, I'm used to real.
I think it
bad,
also
super
helps that
easy.
they've been translated from Swedish or something, is it?
Yeah. That's right. Yeah, I can't think of what the other. I should have written them all down. But I think there was just like some. I think it was basically just like treasure or a couple of weapons that you guys missed out on. But I think in the end, you guys did great. You guys did such a good job of embracing a new system, figuring out like the best ways to do stuff, and yeah. What do you guys think of the like taking on conditions and stuff?
Ooh, lethal.
Because that was like
That
just
was
randomly adding
neat.
banes to
Yeah.
rolls as well.
I
That's a good
like
one.
that it's good for like the mechanics because stuff starts piling on as you're getting more pressured in the fight. But also it gives you a lot to work with if you're more of a acty role play person. So you can start like adding all these extra things into like what your character says, how they react to other people, that kind of thing. So it gives you a lot of choices. So it appeals to the people who are like, I'm just about stats and dice rolls, and then it's like I'm about weaving a story and all that kind of thing. So everyone's included.
I did like the sort of fatigue type mechanic that it created, where you're angry and you're tired and you're depressed and you're hungry and you're exasperated and you've got low HP. And you're like, please, I need a library right now.
Yeah.
Yes.
Pretty good.
I think as a DM, I would have loved to have heard more of those conditions. Like I know it's really hard when you're playing and role playing and got ideas for where things are that you kind of forget what's been ticked on this little character sheet. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
That you're angry or disheartened or scared.
Yeah. That I think is a hard one. And it's also because I don't have your character sheets up to be like, oh, I'm not testing to see if you would be doing that because you're tired, or it really just affects in the end the dice rolls, which is still great. That's awesome.
Yep.
How did you?
Yeah.
What was I going to say? Oh yeah, how did you find joining the group for a big campaign, Moj?
It was cool.
Yeah.
I really enjoyed it. I enjoyed it a lot. It's literally one of the things I looked forward to in my week.
Nice. Okay.
And then I think I even like introduced a couple of people to tabletop role playing because like in my day-to-day like weeks, like talking to people I encounter or my friends and stuff who don't know about it, and I'll just let slip, oh, I can't do anything that day. I'm twitching a game with my mates, and they're like, oh, what do you play? I'm like, oh, Dragonbane, it's like D&D. And they're like, what? And I'm like, yeah, I'm a duck. And they're like, what?
That's cool.
And then a couple of days later they'll be like, hey, that was pretty funny what you guys were doing on Twitch.
Oh, they watched.
watching.
They watched.
Cool.
Oh my god.
Like because
people watch.
some of them are older, so they don't have Twitch. But I was like, you can go on YouTube and watch last week's one. And they're like, wow, you guys, and they're like, do you have a script or anything? I'm like, nah, it's just all of us on the seat of our pants trying to figure out what to do.
Yeah, you fit in perfectly, by the way. Like the one thing I really enjoy, the one thing I really enjoy about every game that I've done with the people that I've done it with is that there's like there's an embracing of that role play. And I know role play isn't for everyone. And I know especially in some games that I've just been a player in, it can be hard to get into it when you're with people you don't 100% know really well. And then it can be quite staggered and stuttery. And the group, every single session, it's just so smooth, and you fit into that really well.
Yay!
I'm
so
really
relieved
fun.
and glad.
Yeah. It's been a great addition. So hopefully, once we get this whole Rime of the Frost Maiden all sorted out, hopefully we'll get you in for that one as well.
Ooh, yep.
And I think that'd be awesome.
That'd be lovely.
Yeah. Your brother also thinks you did great, but he's singling you out. But he's singling you out since you're the newest.
What? Thanks. Backhanded.
Well, you've played a lot of role-playing games, right?
Well, only really I did it a long time ago in the 90s, and then didn't do it for ages. And then my brother, I was at his house one day, and he was like, "Oh, I've got a game on Saturday." And I was like, "Oh yeah, okay." And he was like, "Do you want to join?" And I'm like, "Yeah, go on." And he checked, and he was like, "Yeah, no, they're on board. They don't mind you joining." And I was like, "Sweet." And he's like, "What character do you want?" And I was like, "Oh." And it just started again from there. And then it's like meeting all these lovely people, because, hard to make friends when you're of a certain age.
Yes, that's true.
Yeah, it is
true. And it's like, it gives you something to talk about as well, doesn't it?
Yeah. And the types of people that played the game compared to the ones that I played with in the 90s, they were lovely, but it was a totally different atmosphere and environment. And the ones that I've met in the last couple of years have been really inviting, really accepting, really patient and kind with newbies, teaching them like what to do and all that kind of stuff. So yeah, it was really lovely. And to try new ones, like, oh my gosh, like aliens, which genuinely like terrified me. That was exciting.
Yeah, that was good.
And I love all the character work that you guys do with the costumes and the voices. It's pretty exciting, and it just like pulls you in, so you're like, oh, I want to push a little further.
That is what I think that this group has, is that everyone just brings their own certain style, which encourages everyone else to try it a little bit more as well. That's one of the things I try is really important to me as a DM for this kind of stuff, is if I was hesitant in any way bringing these characters to life, then I feel it would make the players a little more hesitant bringing theirs to life as well. So it's almost like setting a base to know that I want to make sure I'm always going more extreme than the players to give them an ability to go extreme as well. And so if one of the players was ever going to try to out extreme me, I would have to push my limit.
Nice
as well. But I feel like I've set a fucking good example of some extremes over the years.
Yes.
Yeah.
But it's about opening up and making it safe.
It's quite nerve-wracking being a DM. I think there's a lot to think about.
It definitely used to be. I'm way more calm and relaxed and sort of like comfortable in the role now.
Yeah,
it took a while, but I'm way more comfortable.
About 6 years or
longer than that, I think.
Just kidding.
I think last year was the first point where I was like, I feel like I'm finally like
overthinking it and or over prepping and stuff.
Like there was I felt I had to really make sure everything was perfect.
Yeah.
And so, fuck, I've got one detail wrong. I'm so useless. I got to try and find a way to fix that. I've just made that. Now it just doesn't matter. It's like, that's the story now.
Yeah.
Okay. that's fine. That's fine for that to be the story.
In some ways, that's the point of it, right? So sort of you're making it up as you go along. You could, in some systems, you barely, need proper rules. You kind of, the DM is making up the world and you're interacting with it. So you wouldn't even need dice in some of the old systems, right? You just they're the arbitrator of what happens.
I think that Caldera's Call was like the turning point for me, where I was like, oh, wait a minute. It's all just made up. It's just
it's all bullshit.
instead of I'm just doing something that I've written instead of something someone else has written. It doesn't matter if I get it right or wrong along the way. And I don't know, it just kind of stopped being so intense. And Christian in the chat just reminded me as well. I used to do prep streams. Like I prepped so much, I would do a stream. So it'd be like two hours of just like prepping away and talking to the chat and trying to figure out what was going to happen in the next session. And it was always massively over prepped. It was cool, but it was massively over prepped. Versus,
and then we go the opposite direction or something.
100%, yeah. And it would, there was like a point, I think, in one of the episodes of Curse of Strahd where I was like, all right, we're gonna have to call it early now because I don't have the next thing prepped. Whereas I don't think that would happen now. I would just run with it. It'd be like, okay, figuring this out now. I might have to be reading some stuff quickly while you guys are talking.
It's difficult though, because if you're running a written campaign, you have to sort of follow along with it. I found it, even the short ones that I've only ever done that with, like Call of Cthulhu, and so I find it quite difficult trying to absorb what they want, what the setting is, and what can happen. You know, all the parameters that they've got in their book. Whereas we used to just make it up. That was the baseline, and you can't go wrong then. You know, really, you've actually making up. You know it because you've imagined it.
I think what was really my prep changed to literally what I would do if you I can't really in Roll20 if I look at my session 1 notes, it is like basically maybe 10 bullet points. My session 24 notes is like 4 bullet points, and from session 27 27 on, I didn't have any bullet points. And it was just like, it's just, you slowly just, I sit down and I'll look over, oh, what's the area we're in today? What do I need to know? Okay, I know it now. And it doesn't, and I know it enough that if I forget it, it's fine as well. Like, you remember the most important stuff. Just make up the rest. That's fine. It works. So I'm way more comfortable in that, which enables, I think, because I was so focused on that prep work and making sure I ticked things off that had to happen, or trying to find the right direction for things, I would be far less flexible in what people wanted to try and do, because I'm like, well, no, there's no this in this room, so no, you can't do that, or that kind of thing. Whereas now I'm just like, you know, this doesn't matter. What do the players want to do?
I thought you did a very good job of like making what we came up with happen, you know, like not just rolling with it, even to the extent of more than what we thought might happen or something. And it's quite, as a player, you feel like, yes, I'm doing it. It's happening. My plan's happening. So that's the fun part, I think, of being a player. It's like, you know, you don't want to win all the time, but like if you come up with a plan, it's great when it pans out.
I think the most rigid I was, maybe in Dragonbane, was when people might be looking for an item that just would like, I want to see if there's like an outcrop of stone I could hide behind. And it's like, you're in a corridor with flat walls. So that kind of thing.
Yeah.
I think that was probably the strictest I was at, maybe a handful of points. Yeah. But anyway, thank you guys again. That was a really, really cool campaign. I can imagine taking some stuff. Obviously, our next big campaign is probably going to be D&D again, but I can definitely see incorporating some of the stuff I've learned from a bunch of different systems, and bringing it over back to D&D in some format. And I think it really just comes down to just relaxing on the rules a little bit more, just being a bit more interesting. Like in my head, a dying state in D&D was unconscious person that's about to bleed out and die. Whereas now dying states in like Alien and Dragonbane, they're all kind of like, no, they're still conscious. They're dying. They're not unconscious.
That's the mechanic that I was trying to think of in Dragonbane that I loved, was was it when you're in the dying state, but you can stand back up again?
Rally.
Yes, rally.
That's cool.
Yeah.
That is
I
really
loved
cool.
the rally.
I really
was
like that as
amazing.
well, and I'm tempted to bring that over into D&D as well. I really,
Nice.
if you roll well, so you can try and rally yourself up, because that was I really like that in like anime. I really love like when someone goes down in anime and they're like
The
unconscious,
underdog
and then they have like those
stands back up
yeah,
again.
they have those like flashbacks of people like cheering them on, and they get to their
Yeah,
feet.
yeah,
Like
yeah.
I love that idea of that. It can lead to a really heroic moment where they on their dying, like their last moment is dealing a blow, and then they collapse down onto the like. Just it can be really, really big moment.
Yeah.
Versus D&D as written is you're on the ground. Oh, it's your turn. Roll a dice, next person. And it's just a bit. It's just a bit boring. It's almost punishment for being in a dying state instead of being like, well, no, there's more
It
you
is,
can
yeah.
do.
It's nerve-wracking and you can't do shit. Yeah, it's true.
Yeah. But Christian does say that some people play Rime of the Frost Maiden using the Dragonbane rule set. That'd be
Terrifying.
Oh my gosh, this guy. He's always mixing. Why you gotta be mixing?
Yeah.
Dragon of the Bane Maiden?
Yeah.
Bane of the Dragon Maiden?
It's because he's got 30 different RPGs he wants to play. So he turns that into 12 games that he can just
mash
mix
them up.
Yeah, mash them all together.
What were we doing the other day? Symbaroum, but with nimble rules.
Oh, okay. Was that what you're doing just on the weekend?
Yes.
Cool.
And yeah, it was really nicely simple. And there was some like hard case rules where you're like, really? That I'm allowed to do that? And he's like, yeah, once per turn. It's like, get out of town. Like I had the equivalent of a rogue, and you can roll to hit, and you can change the dice roll once per turn
that's
because
interesting.
I was technically a cheat. So I could literally like meta cheat and be like, oh no, I failed the roll. Wait a minute. Oh, my mistake. It was a 4 on my D4, so I get to re-roll again. And it's
that's cool.
And I'm like, give me that rule. Let me look at that. It's like, oh, that's what it says. Oh my gosh. And it was
that's
like,
very cool.
Sick, yeah. And
I like that.
There were rules like that, all for the all the different characters and things. And every so often you just look at the rule and you're like, seriously, I'm allowed to do that?
That's kind of cool.
Yeah, I'm gonna do it. I'm gonna do it all the flipping time.
Yeah, I used to like that about like halfling luck. It was just like, oh, you rolled a 1? No, you didn't. I'm like, yes.
Yes, I love that
Luck
one.
point. Let's go.
Yeah. Okay. Well,
Or reliable talent.
Oh, I don't know if I've seen that one.
In Rogue, you can't roll under a 10.
Right. Is there anything else? Is there anything else we wanted to chat about?
Thanks to you, man, for making such an awesome game.
Dragonbane. Always happy.
So
always happy to run something. I think over the next few months, maybe I'll probably take a bit of a break from running stuff. I don't know. I'm still trying to figure things out. I know Christian is probably going to run something next week. So if anyone wants to put their hand up for that, please do. I'll be a player for the first time in a while, which would be great. I think
what is that?
He's going to run. He said he was going to run something for you. And I'm like, I'll play.
That's right.
So,
but I can't be next week. I'm not here next week.
Okay, well, not next week. We'll do it soon. And then I probably will run some more Dragonbane stuff. I really, really like the idea of following a group of goblins that Maladuke has sent to the Spider Cave. I really want to play that out. I think that would be fun.
5-minute TPK.
A spin-off.
There's the Temple of the Purple Flame is where a bunch of in the book where a bunch of Immaculate Flame members have been sent. So I want to play that out. That would be fun. We'll figure it out. There's a few extra little stories in here. It would be quite fun just to run as a secondary. So yeah, thank you guys for playing. It was awesome. Really enjoyed it. And I think a lot of people really enjoyed seeing this on YouTube as well. So thanks to everyone who watched us live, but also thanks to everyone on YouTube who has gotten this far into the sessions as well. Do leave a comment with your favorite part of that campaign as well and who you thought deserves a level up as well. We'll do that. But big thank you to our Patreon supporters, Tracy, Andrew, Lyndon, Squished, Drop Shadow, QSD, George, and the Foolish Fool. Some of these people have been supporting us on the Patreon from like the moment we started the Patreon as well. So thank you guys for that. Please do support us on the Patreon as well, because it definitely helps cover all the different little costs that we have for Roll20. When we go back to D&D, we'll probably have that D&D Beyond subscription I've got to get back on. We've got Sirenscape. We've got buying the campaigns and rule sets and all that. Because we've got the new... I'm still trying to figure out if we're going to go with the new 2024 rule set for D&D as well. So I've got to buy those. So please do support us, because it will be used for good. And not just me buying...
Not evil.
Video games on the Nintendo Switch 2 releasing
Oh my gosh.
This episode is sponsored by the Nintendo Switch 2. Which has been...
He's joined the cult.
yeah. Also, Christian says there's a free league sale later this month. Please, I would highly recommend buying Dragonbane. I would if you love RPGs, you want to try a new system, or if you just liked what we've done here, grab the Dragonbane set. It's super good.
Cool art as well.
Amazing art.
Yeah, real good.
Plus you get all the like cards and little things. Just buy it and play it with your friends. It's fantastic. Make your own grub.
It has no chill, but it has
0
high
chill.
risk, high gain story factor.
Yeah.
Mm.
All right, now everyone go grab yourself a Blue Hawaii wine cooler and call it a night.
Get out of your mum's pantry. And
all right, thanks everybody. Thanks
Thank
to you guys again just for the amazing job.
Thank you.
All right,
Oh, thanks a lot.
see you, buddy.
Bye.